What is good, y'all? This is Robert, and thank you for tuning in to the podcast. And yeah, this is I'm going on camera again. So, hey, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And as you can see, we have our lovely special guest. We had somebody who you might recognize from her YouTube channel and doing a lot of on camera, screen, and voiceover work. And we have Valory Pierce in the corner. So thank you so much for joining me on today's, very chill vibing episode.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Robert. Thank you.
Yeah, we were just kind of talking a little bit about, oh, like, what are our plans for the summertime? And I already said that my schedule is going to be pretty wonky these next few weeks, especially when we go to July and August. So
Mhm.
episodes aren't going to be as common, but you should still see some new ones every now and then. Plus, I've got a lot of very big special guests that I have planned for my 300th interview. Yeah, you already know I'm a voice actor when I can't even speak today. So, but thank you so much. And yeah, I still can't believe we're almost at number three, 300, the three digits here. So, whoop-de-doo. But I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. Just thank you so much. But enough of that sappy talk. You just wanted to hear both of us just yap our ears off, which is what we do best for the show. So yeah, Valerie, thank you so much for joining me and just share a little bit about just what you've been up to and just everything that you're doing. And yeah, so we can just have a little icebreaker, an introduction, if you will.
Yeah, hi. So this is my second podcast I've ever done.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I actually listen to a lot of podcasts. I love podcasts because when I got started into VO, I always listened to podcasts to get like information, experiences,
Oh,
stories.
me
I love
too.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love podcasts. So when I got an email from Robert, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. I totally will totally do this. But yeah, thank you for having me. So what I've been up to, I just been playing Final Fantasy 14 online for the past few days. I've been obsessed. I actually started playing back in like 2021, but then I moved to LA and then life happened, totally forgot about it. And then now that like life has calmed down, I was like, oh, let me get back into Final Fantasy 14. Still a little intimidating, so I literally had to join a new server and made like a whole new character. And apparently they made a new server called Fairy. And for those of you who know me for like many, many years, y'all know I'm like obsessed with fairies. So as soon as I saw there's a fairy server, I'm like, it's time for me to come back. So I made like a new character and I've just been very, very obsessed the past few days.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Final Fantasy has kind of been, I consider it to be this year's, I guess, the fixation game of the year because I know in 2020 we've had Among Us, Animal Crossing, and then we got Cyberpunk, and then there was Breath of the Wild. So there's so many video games that we have just been. Oh, and also last year we had Baldur's Gate 3. So most of these I still have not played. I know, Lissob, but I promise I'll have more. I say that, but then stuff just keeps on piling up on me. So it's like us actors just never really truly, it just never really ends or stops, But at the end of the day, it's like we're just really lucky that we get to do what we do for every single day. What can start out for fun, and then it eventually turns into a career. You never know.
I agree.
E. So I guess with your background, I know that you're based in the West Coast, but tell us a little bit about how, you know, if we were to go back to your childhood and just where
Mhm.
all of this creativity just your roots just stemmed from, like how would you describe it led you to wanting to become an actress and pretty much led you to pursuing that to go off and venture into the path of showbiz?
Yeah, yeah. So as long as I can, I'm a Leo, so I'm quite outgoing by nature, and I'm like slightly introverted as well. When I need my uh,
Same.
recharge time. So I'm a Leo, so I've always been like drawn to like performances. I grew up watching TVB, Hong Kong TVB. It's like a network show based in Hong Kong, and my parents would always play these Chinese dramas, and I always, crazy little me, would always try to like reenact those scenes, like the most dramatic scenes ever, and I would like reenact them, but I never really registered that that's acting. It's not real. It's fake. So I just was like having fun and just being dramatic and putting on plays and pretending I'm in some like Chinese drama and stuff. And I think that's where I loved, performing. And I've always liked to make people laugh and make them smile as a kid. So I would always try to like joke around. And I would say I definitely got that from my dad's side. He would always like make these ridiculous jokes and we would just be laughing. And I definitely got my sense of humor from him. And it was always something that I like doing, just like, making my friends smile if they're having a bad day, or, just telling a joke and just being weird and gremlin. And that usually just my way of showing that I care and making sure they're okay.
Yeah, because that's pretty much one of the best things about your family. It's like they can be in your corner and be your biggest cheerleaders and supporters. I know it's definitely also is the case with me. Love you, mom. So, yeah, I just definitely it just warms your heart. It's very heartwarming when it does happen. So, yeah, since your childhood, I know you got your sense of humor from your father. So, would you say that you carry that sense of humor everywhere you go now?
I do, I do. I think for a longest time, well, I grew up in an Asian culture, so my
Yeah.
family, I guess there's like an expectations. This is from my personal experience. I always felt the need that I need to be perfect at all times. Like I need to present myself in absolute perfection.
Yeah.
And my parents would often be very hard on me if anything was half-assed. Like they would be like, "What is this? What is this?" Like they will nitpick everything. So I just grew in a very like I'm this year I'm really trying like the past year and I just really trying to learn accepting imperfections and I don't need to always be perfect all the time. I can just be like weird gremlin me and that's okay. Like I don't need to be so, as some of my friends would say, pristine. So I'm just really trying to learn to let go and just really be okay and just be human. And I don't think I've given myself that chance, I would say, because I don't think people notice how I'm very critical of myself. Like, if I do anything wrong, I would be like, why did I do that? Like, I'll start spiraling in a way because I was raised to be perfect. I always need to be perfect. And I just try to be like, okay, I need to just calm down. It's not that deep. You're human. You're not a Barbie doll. It's fine. So just basically letting go and really just kind of like undoing all the bad habits I've developed for myself of being perfect all the time and doing things perfectly because I do find myself getting burnt out and I just felt very empty inside because the state of perfection, there's no such thing as perfection. So that's just from my family upbringing for me personally.
Mm. I seem to notice too with a lot of because I can total like I didn't really have a particularly strict background, but it's more like, yeah, we kind of need you to be at your best or no, because when it comes to perfectionism, that certainly was where it kind of stemmed when I was in elementary school because there were certain teachers who would be like, okay, no, we will not allow this clowning around or anything of the sort. We just need students to be on best behavior. We want good grades and pretty much a lot of the traditional stuff. So I it kind of felt the need to be like, oh my gosh, so I have to be like the other kids or I have to be good or else I'm gonna get in trouble and I don't want to. I never really missed it. I got perfect attendance. I don't think I really missed a day, so that kind of was something that stemmed into my teenage years, and now, and even in my adult life, I'm just kind of like, oh my God, man, I just need to. Because even if I'm reaching out to people, it's kind of like the sense of like, mm, let me see, am I saying the right word? So, like, this overthinking just kind of like perfectionism. I always say that it is it's
The
the enemy to
downfall, in a
progressive.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
downfall to
the
creativity,
downfall.
the
Yeah.
downfall to be human, to be just to be human. I think it's truly a downfall. And
Mm.
I've just been this year, I just really, really trying to just let go and really just be in the moment more and not think about being perfect all the time. Because for me, it got exhausting. I also did modeling. Back in the day, I did modeling as well,
Oh
and
yeah,
that is like
yeah,
very much
yeah.
like you need to be perfect all the time. You need to have perfect pictures. And now like K-dramas and like K-pop culture is just so prevalent and all their photos are so like pristine and perfect too. It's kind of like I don't know. It's definitely for me, it's a cultural upbringing from my own experience. And I think a lot of my family members, I felt that maybe it was the case too. It's like we always have to be presentable and perfect at every situation in a way. And yeah,
Yeah. So you're also fluent in English, Cantonese, Chinese, and conversational Mandarin. So I just wanted to ask, like, how long did it really take you to learn these different languages and use it to apply for work and your personal life? Because I know being in America may seem like pretty well, I've also talked with a lot of folks that are based in that have like, backgrounds from like Asia or Japan or Korea and so many other different countries. So I just wanted to ask you, how long did it take you to really adapt to the American culture?
I was born and raised in America, so I was very
Okay, yeah, yeah.
immersed in American culture. And
Okay.
for me, I grew up speaking Cantonese. My family, they spoke Cantonese, and my dad, I remember very vividly, when I was trying to speak English at home, he was like, no, English outside, Cantonese inside. And also, I watch a lot of Chinese dramas, so I've just been like, I always have to communicate in Cantonese, but it does get a little bit difficult when you're trying to explain certain words in English to in Chinese, but like you just don't know how to say it in a certain way because in Cantonese it's very, very specific, very specific. Like there's variations in a sense. And yeah, no, I grew up speaking Cantonese and I had to go to school, like take like additional curriculums and when I was a child to like speak fluently in English because apparently I had like an accent growing up and they're like, you need to pronounce your words better. So I think that's usually for me, I gotta like so I guess like I got voiceover training when I was like super duper young about pronunciations and enunciations. It was totally meant to be in the
Yeah.
stars.
Dude, yeah. Enunciation and your diction, like I totally get you, man. Like back when I first started, it was not the best, but I think the more that you start doing this, the more you kind of start getting better with like when it comes to word pronunciation, so you don't accidentally say something or misspell a word. Because trust me, um, that can be that can be a nightmare. Not gonna lie.
Oh yes, very much so, very much so. And as for Mandarin, my mom wanted me to learn Mandarin, and I was the rebellious kid. That's why probably a lot of my characters are probably rebellious. So maybe there's some truth into my childhood. I was rebellious. I was like, "Ugh, I already speak Cantonese. I already spoke one Chinese language. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I don't think I'll ever, ever use Mandarin." And then jokes on me, like now my language, my dialect is basically, I think from what I've understand, China is making Mandarin as like the primary language, is the language. So it's kind of like phasing out other dialects of Chinese because there are very various dialects and flavors in China, I would say. And it just kind of broke my heart knowing that. it's becoming no longer common for people to speak Cantonese or something like that. But again, I'm not really sure. I don't really touch on the news that much, but it's from what friends have told me and did a little research, and I was like, oh, okay. Um, thank goodness I speak English, so in case if anything happens, I'm like, hey, how do I get from point A to point B whenever I visit China? I still have not visited China yet. I think that's something I definitely want to do in the future, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we shall see. So you took theater classes around 2011 or so. Were they very instrumental in helping you navigate your career path and really made you fall in love with acting st- and that's how you kind of started, making connections and just getting your name out
Hmm.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I started taking acting theater classes. And it was after I read the manga Skip Beat, Skip Beat, the anime, the anime.
Whoa,
Well, actually,
wow. Nobody really talks about that.
I know, but everyone should. It's a really, really good series, but
Yeah,
going
man.
on way too long, and
I
I'm
felt
waiting
like
for.
I was the only one that knew about the anime and the manga. Yeah.
I honestly, I love the series. I truly do, but I feel like that series has been going on since like what, 2000, and I honestly think it needs to end. It just keeps going on and on and on, and I'm
You mean
like,
kind of like One Piece that came out at the same time? I'm so sorry. I know somebody's gonna be like, One Piece is actually, yeah, it's kind of weird me mentioning up One Piece, but it did came out around the same time. But look, 1,000 episodes and it's still going strong. So yeah,
you know, but One
I don't
Piece
know.
is more like adventures and
Yeah,
Kyoko's story in the industry, I guess, is like a never-ending journey in a way. But I feel like I have a feeling it's close to the end, and I haven't been like catching up with the manga per se because I'm just waiting for it to end so I can binge. I'm a binger. I love binging shows. Like I don't like to wait.
true.
I just want to absorb everything and just be like, oh, that was amazing. So no, I read Skippy, and I fell in love with the idea of acting, and I was like, oh, this seems fun. Let me give it a go. And dramatic little me did apparently very well in acting classes, theater, but I did theater and I did on-camera acting, and I really liked on-camera because it was very intimate and it was very subtle but very nuanced. But then, so there was a point where the more like ding 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 this could I maybe I could do this wasn't until I was taking a class in the summer and it was on camera and the filming class, the filmography class wanted to make shorts, short film student short films, and they had everyone in my class audition, and I was the only one that booked all three parts in all three projects, or four, was it three or four, I'm not sure, but I was like the only one that booked all four projects roles, and I had like a little something in each one. I think I played, yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, and I was like, oh wow, maybe I could actually do this. But I didn't want to move to LA at the time, and I just, I, there weren't that many Asian representations at the time, so I knew how hard it would be, and I didn't see a lot of me on TV. Like, I didn't see a lot of representation of Asian actors. I mean, I know there's Lucy Liu and Jackie Chan and Jet Li, but those were like only the main three for me growing up. Maggie Q, and it just wasn't a lot of Asian representation for me. And it felt like I need to move to Asia if I want any chance to have a career in showbiz. And that's just how I felt at the time. I know like times has changed since then, and I'm very grateful and thankful that it has changed. And I'm so excited for the new generation, the next generation, the future generation to be able to see, look on the screen and see themselves on TV and be like, yeah, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this. So I'm just loving how there's a lot of inclusivity in the industry and showbiz, and I'm seeing a lot more people that I could, from my culture and my identity, being presented on TV, on mainstream media now, like Gemma Chan, Aquafina, um, Simu Liu, and it's just been amazing seeing more representations happening on the big screen.
Yeah, I I was literally just talking with this with one of my guests just the other day, where we were just talking about seeing more authenticity and representation. Like, I know we are seeing a lot more indigenous and more African Americans. There's more Asian representation. So especially when you watch on Netflix, like there's the Squid Game series that is out right now, and there's just a lot of anime and so many shows that are casting, leads with, actual authentic representation, and it just really makes me so stinking happy, man. I just
Mhm.
wish all these people all the best. They're just crushing it out there. It's really funny that you mentioned Skip Beat, because that was actually your voiceover debut, directed by none other than Taliesin Jaff from frickin' Critical Role. Yeah, so talk a little bit about being a part of that.
Yeah,
Be-
yeah.
Yeah, being a part of
So
such a legacy, and being directed by a legend.
yeah, no, he Towson was absolutely a dream to work with. He's so cool, so funny, so chill. I how I got into that sphere was I did a lot of Miraculous Ladybug content, and I was a huge
Yes.
fan of Madoka Magica, and
Oh
um
wow.
yeah, no, and
Another under discussed anime.
it's such
Y'all
a good anime. Oh
y'all
my
is
God, so good.
sleeping
I'm
on it.
obsessed. I am
Yeah.
obsessed. One thing led to another, and one of the production English dubbing production projects reached out to me asking that would I be interested in doing some PR work for Skippy for the English dub, because they saw some of my content on YouTube, and I'm very, very well versed. The one thing I'm very grateful for YouTube is that they taught me how to be good in business and marketing and knowing what the audience wants and such. So it gave me a lot of skills that carried on over into my actual life. And so they reached out and I was like, oh yeah, sure, cool. Like at that time, I didn't even think about doing voiceover like at all. Like didn't even cross my mind. I was just being like, oh my God, I'm a content creator, living my best life. Yeah, yes. So, I spent like a few days in the studio and I didn't really know anyone there, but I met a lot of people now who are big names in the industry that they suddenly just they didn't suddenly um, blew up. They worked very, very hard to get to where they're at. But seeing them doing so well now, I'm so proud of them, and they deserve every ounce of success they have. And it's just really cool knowing that I met my colleagues, my peers before, like way before when they were kind of starting out as well. But I wasn't in VO. I was just like, oh yeah, everyone's really cool. So how I got my first gig in Skippy, that was actually my first anime role, first VO role, everything, absolutely everything. Um, I was just like, minding my own business, drawing and, working on PR ideas for the show to promote it. And me and during one of their breaks, me and Talson, I didn't know who he was, and I think this was before Critical Role, I believe. This was back in 2016, so this was way before. And
Okay. Yep. So
um,
this was right before it really blew up.
yeah, so
Yeah.
for me, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I don't care who you are. If you're cool, you're cool. That's just how I was raised, and that's like the vibe I've always got. Like, yo, if you're cool with me, let's chat, let's vibe, and that's just how that's just the culture I grew up in. We're just really chill, easygoing. It's really not that deep. So I didn't know who he was. I didn't care who he was. He was a cool dude, and we were just chatting and having a great time, joking around. And he asked what I do for a living, and I was like, oh, I do YouTube. I do these comic dubs for fun. Like I do like this mean Parisian girl, Chloe Bourgeois. I think a lot of fans would very much know me as the mean
Yeah.
Chloe
Yep.
Bourgeois fan voice.
Mhm.
I had a few viewers of mine over the years that I met in person, which was amazing and magical. They came up to me and they were very kind, and they're like, Your voice acting for that character, even though it's fan work, it was really funny, really great. So I guess I had like a natural comedic charm to my acting in a way. But I'm glad they enjoyed it. I'm glad they found it enjoyable. Um, so I told him I did that, and he was like, show me something. Like just right off the bat, it's like, show me something. And I was like, and then I think I said something like, oh my gosh. So my daddy owns all of Paris. If you don't know who I am, clearly you're living under a rock. Anyways, I'm gonna live my best life. Bye. Stuff like that. And like something around those lines. And he was laughing and he was having a great time. And he was like, hey, how about we have a little bit of that in this episode? Like, why didn't you come in the booth? And I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? I have no clue. Wait, what's going on? I was like, wait,
Hey,
what?
ayo, ayo.
And no, it was great. And I actually vlogged the experience and I still have that vlog and it's very close and dear to my heart. And it was just me, like my first time in the booth and Taliesin directing me and I was just very giddy. I was very new, but I was in one episode of Skippy and I saw like the ADR, the lip flaps and everything. I didn't even know what any of this was. And then I saw it and I was like, oh my God. And, I was very, very fortunate, very, very extremely, extremely lucky to be given the opportunity to do that, especially with like no VO experience at the time, like zero. I have acting experience, but I have like zero VO experience. And Telson was just very, very chill, very kind, and he just made it really fun. And I was done within like 15 minutes. Everyone was I'm not sure everyone, but he was definitely laughing at my performance. And I kept remembering just making sure like instinctively I did not want to touch the mic or anything. Like I knew like this is not my space. Do not touch anything. This is very expensive. I am a guest in this space. Let me be respectful and let them do their job, whatever they want to. Just like I didn't know like that was, I thought to me that was common sense. So I did not touch anything. I just went there being respectful of the space, of everyone's time. And for me, what I learned over the years in like content creation, basically in entertainment, I do not like wasting people's time. I'm very, very anal about being on time, being early, getting the job done, not wasting the director's or the client's time because I had a situation back when I did on one of the projects that I was on when I did the short films back in college, the ones that I got casted in all four projects in. There was an actor that took like I got there maybe 4 hours early and I made sure like, hey, does anyone need help? And, I'm more than willing to, help out if you need to because everyone there, they're students and this is truly a passion project of theirs. And I just want to be, really respectful of everyone's time and their vision. And there was an actor that literally spent 6 hours on one scene, kept forgetting his lines, and everyone was getting exhausted, and he just walked off the set. And I was really like, everyone was like scrambling. I was really upset for them because I felt that was very unprofessional because even if you're not getting paid, people's time, like you're a part of a project and you're a part of someone's vision, and the lack of respect I was just like very I was just very appalled by it. So for me, I just want to make sure I'm very prepared, get things done and right. Just like do everything fast, I guess. Well, not fast, but more efficiently and make sure I listen and give the director and the client exactly what they want. So for me, that was already ingrained in me, my work ethic in entertainment, just like be very prepared and make sure I'm flexible. Like it was something that I carried over into my VO career even today. So I was just very fortunate that I got to experience my first experience in VO, and I remember leaving the booth thinking, I just want to do this forever. I want to do this forever. Like I got the voice acting bug and I didn't know how I could go about it. Like I really didn't. I Googled everything, but like for me, there have been people who asked me how I got started in VO, and they ask these questions, and I've seen people saying, they answer them and just Google these answers. But I think for me, what people mean is like, what's your experience in VO? Like, what's your story? What's your unique story? Because everyone's story in VO is unique, and I think that's beautiful, amazing. And I truly believe when people ask me those questions, they just mean it in a way like, oh, what was your experience? How did you come about this? Like we're talking here. And, just look at it in a way where they just want to hear your story and your adventure into this field.
Yeah, that is amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that story. You can also talk a little bit about Genshin Impact, if you may.
Yes. So
Yes.
my first
What's
big
the character's name? How is it pronounced?
Tanina,
Anita.
she was in Sumeru, and another character I voiced was Lovey in Fontaine. She's like this little girl running around, and it was really cute. It was, and I voiced a few Melusines as well. But Lovey and Tanina were really fun, and I see Lovey in a lot of Genshin PVs in Fontaine. Like I see that little girl with a side ponytail with that exact same outfit. And I was like, oh my God, that's my girl. That's my girl, Lovey. So, getting to see her in like some of the promos and videos, it just makes me so happy because it felt like my character was really part of the community versus Tanina was in the main story and she was kind of like, like kind of a one and done kind of situation. So seeing Levy in other, PVs of Genshin felt really cool. Like like my character kind of lived on in a way. Or I don't know, maybe it could be another character. I don't know. NPCs all look the same to some extent. They just like change the skin color, the hair color, maybe the eyes. But, like I'm just really thankful that I got to have Genshin as my first big VO role since I started VO, and everything else was, just kind of snowballed in a way.
Yeah, because you've been on so many great projects like Path to Nowhere,
Mhm.
Gray Hair, Polywog, Digimon. I mean,
Oh,
like,
I mean, I
Digimon
can
is
talk
kind of
about
been, yeah.
Digimon. Oh my gosh, like Digimon, when I got the email, that the casting director wanted me to just even be a part of it. Like I auditioned for the movie because I'm a huge Digimon fan. Oh my gosh, Digimon. Like, okay, maybe this is controversial, but this is just me. If I have to choose Pokemon or Digimon, I would choose Digimon. I'm a huge Digimon fan. I love me my shiny hunting. I love me my Pokemon shiny hunting. Y'all can't tell me anything otherwise. I love me my Pokemon shiny hunting. Me and my close friend, we would always like joke around and send each other Pokemon memes, and we would joke around, saying, "Oh yeah, how's your audition? I think this is like Mega Charizard level audition." And I'm like, I'm just a Corellia. I'm just trying to be Mega Gardevoir. So I just like stole the Gardevoir and just Mega evolved and did this audition. So it's like really nerdy talk between us. But Digimon was just such a dream for me, and just being a part of it was absolutely amazing. And one of my dream roles that I've always wanted to do was little boys. I wanted to voice a little boy, and I got that, and I voiced like I just did like one little scene, my little boy just like running around with his three friends, just like laughing and giggling, and I just was so happy. Like that's my boy. That's my boy. And I had one line in the movie, And it was like the grocery store scene where the lady was like, "Welcome, welcome." And I was like, this is so cool. And that is actually how I officially became ZAG eligible. I never in my never in my wildest dreams would I think anime would be my way of becoming ZAG eligible. Like, this is crazy. This is insane. This is amazing. But also, this is also my dream franchise I got to be in. So I'm forever grateful for the opportunity and for the studio and the casting director to see something in me and giving me a shot. It's just all very, very, I just feel very blessed and very, very fortunate and thankful. And I'm just being reminded every day that, no one needs to give you a shot. No one needs to, but when they do, when people truly believe in you and see something in you, it's just like a magical feeling.
It really is. So, I guess we'll discuss more about your YouTube channel and closing
Mhm.
thoughts in the next part. So, if y'all are enjoying this so far, definitely, I don't know, subscribe or do this YouTube out mumbo jumbo. But yeah, I'll see y'all in the next part. And until then, take it easy and keep rocking it out there and stay cool from the heat. Peace.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about your YouTube channel because, like you said, you're known for Chloe and doing a lot of content on there. And I really also enjoyed the videos that you do where you actually meet up with the cast of Miraculous Ladybug and just doing these videos with them, including meeting so many amazing people in the industry, like a previous guest who I've had on, Aaron Fitzgerald, who is absolutely rad. Like, you guys should totally check out. She also does coaching, so if you guys are interested, definitely feel free to reach out to her. And yeah, I was talking to so many cast members of the show and just meeting a lot of these people. Like, when you're making those videos or just making content for your YouTube, like,
Mhm.
was that also something else that you did for like how can I say this? It's another creative outlet that you can explore on top of meeting so many wonderful people in the industry, like as far as getting your name out there is concerned.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yes. I think when I first started my channel, I did like makeup tutorials, like Winx Club makeup tutorials. It's still on my channel.
Oh, oh,
Yes, I
wow, we're
love
going
Winx. Y'all
back.
know,
Yeah.
y'all know I love Winx Club. I love Winx Club. And Erin is an absolute sweetheart. She's great. She's a great coach. She's so sweet. And I remember, I think the videos that you were talking about, the Miraculous Ladybug cast videos, ironically, majority of the cast minus Selah, who's the
Yeah, Sayla
voice,
Victor. Yeah.
yeah, Stella Victor, the voice of Chloe Bourgeois. She wasn't in the cast, but of Skip Beat, but she was so kind and so cool to like just meet up with me because she knows like I love her character, Chloe Bourgeois. I think she did a phenomenal job and she's such a sweetheart. I absolutely adore her. And yeah, so majority of the cast members you saw in my Miraculous Ladybug videos are actually in Skip Beat. So we actually filmed everything when they were recording, and they were really cool, really chill about it. And Zag Animations, the company that does I cannot speak. Hi, I'm a voice actor. I talk for a living. Um,
Welcome to my world. Now you're feeling my pain right
hmm
now.
They are the ones who produce Miraculous Ladybug. They actually gave the okay to do content for the show, and at the time, they only were at season one, and season two was in production. So they're like, "Hey, do you want to promote the show?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" Um, so yeah, I met everyone there, and I can't believe how much time has passed since then. But yeah, no, it was great.
Yeah, those must have been so much fun. Like I can really see the genuine like the camaraderie and just the shenanigans that happen like just goofing around and just doing these characters, just playing them, and just having a lot of fun. I really like the one that you did with Keith Silverstein, who, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if you can see this.
Mm,
Uh-oh, where is he? Ah, there he is. There
there's
he is.
Keith.
Yeah, he's always right behind me. Like, yeah. So whenever I'm doing these, I can always just picture like, Mohawk. I'm so sorry, names today. I can always just picture the villain just giving me encouragement or something. I don't know, because he brainwashes people in the show. So it's like, yeah, he's
Oh, yeah,
always there
yeah.
in spirit. So whenever I see a picture of Keith, I just think of like, oh no, I'm about to become like akumaized. Yeah.
Traumatized. Yeah, no, Keith
Akumatized.
is
Yeah.
just, he's such a sweetheart and he is so funny in person and he's like the sweetest person.
Yeah.
And when I moved to LA at the time, I met up with him and I didn't met up with him. I met him at a convention he was guesting at because I was
Yeah.
there
This was like
myself
years
and
ago. Yeah, when I
yeah,
met him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I met him at a convention and I went up to say hi and yeah, we just caught up for a bit and he was like really, really cool. He's always been such a sweetheart and it was great seeing him again and seeing how he's doing very, very well. And, like it's amazing and crazy to see how time flies over the years and how things has changed. Um, but yeah, no, it was really fun memories for me seeing those videos. But I definitely am a lot better of an actor than I was back then. A lot of training, a lot of classes, and they were just so kind and so sweet. And they're just some of the nicest people I've met in this industry.
Yeah. Akumatized. That's the
Hmm.
right word. Yeah. Yeah, I got yeah, you know what, to be fair, it has been a minute or two, but no, but just catching up with, Ladybug, but it's still a really fun show. Like, I think it's on Netflix and I remember it was on Nickelodeon and then it was on Disney. So, and they brought it to the Netflix and we got a movie about the origin. So, that's pretty interesting as a prequel to the series. So, yeah, pretty
Hmm.
interesting indeed. Um, but yeah, there's just been a lot of Miraculous Ladybug. There's a very large dedicated fan base to it, and I'm just so happy that, you make content for it, and that alone is like we're just so passionate about, what we do. And I think you even did a little film on Miraculous, if I'm not mistaken.
I did, I did. I was actually
Yeah.
in Paris. I was in Paris. I
Hey,
was
there you go.
filming. Yeah, no, literally, I was in Paris, and I had an idea. I was like, oh, maybe I should like recreate Emily's short film from the movie, and I think that was like the point where it made me realize like maybe I should really give acting a shot, like really give it a shot. And I met up with Tomas, who's the creator of the show, writer and creator of Miraculous Ladybug, and he's one of the most sweetest person I've ever met. He is so nice and so funny and charming. And he did ask me, I remember asking me if I ever considered pursuing voice acting. And it's like all these signs pointing to me like maybe I should, give this a try, give it a go. And I was like, and I just wasn't confident at the time. I was just like, oh no, I'll think about it. We'll see. For me, I think a lot of people who meet me, I'm a little, I do get a little nervous and I try to really be like outgoing and bright and fun, but I do get a little like unsure of myself. Like there's a lot of self-doubt that people don't really see of me, and I don't think anyone knows that I have really, really high self-doubt because of my Asian family upbringing because anything I do, it feels like it was never good enough and I always need to do more. I gotta do more. I gotta do more. Like it just felt like a bottomless pit at that point. So I just wasn't really confident in my abilities and I wasn't really feeling it, but seeing how everything aligned in a way, I felt like maybe it's meant to be. And I'm definitely a Pacific Northwest person when I'm like, oh, the stars, the universe, what could it mean? So I thought, you know what, let me give it a try. And then COVID hit, and I believe I went to Paris back in 2019, and I was going to travel to London in 2020, but then COVID hit, the world just ended apparently. And I was like, you know what, maybe this is a time where I could just like brush up on my skills and really learn the craft. And here we are. I started taking classes in late 2020, and yeah, just been at it ever since. Just always improving my craft and understanding that everyone's journey is different, everyone's timeline is different, and that's what makes it fun, adventurous, because if everyone's timeline is the exact same, then it's kind of boring. So I'm just trying to like really focus on how to be a better actor and improving my craft and really learning the nuance and always constantly growing my craft.
Oh yeah. And I see all that hard work is paid off because you just got accepted. Yeah, accepted, and you're studying right now at the Stella Adler Studio of Acting. Ayo. This
Mhm.
year, 2024. So congrats, girl.
Thank you. Thank
Slay.
you. I only took like one semester of it and I didn't really go back. Like the class was great, but it felt very a bit beginner friendly for me. And I was like in a point where
Fair.
I feel like I mean the classes are great, they're phenomenal, but I felt like I needed something more. There does come a point in a voice actor or an actor's career, I mean, even athletes and singers go through this, where they need more one-on-one and really like fine tune what they need to work on. So that's where I'm at. I've been, you know, taking classes, coaching, everything, just learning, constantly growing and bettering myself and my craft. And it's a journey, and I do see the results and I'm just excited to know that there will always be opportunities for growth, and it's it's a marathon. And I'm just excited to be in the space where I could just really focus on my craft and really grow in my creativity and my art. And yeah.
Yeah. I think that's such a beautiful way to close out this episode. Um, I just want to thank you so much for your time, but yeah,
Thank
it's so
you.
good to talk to somebody who is passionate about reading manga, and you mentioned you're obsessed with fairies and all things
I love fairies.
magical, Pokemon, and I think I've heard a little. Was that your dog in the?
Yes, my dogs are wondering, what is mom doing? What is she doing in
Yeah,
the
and
box?
apparently I take it that you're also a Ruby Wise Schnee.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, Snow Wise.
I named my dog after Weiss Schnee from the show, and she's been my little munchkin ever since. She's my little baby.
Yeah, boy, we could just talk about so much, too many media and just so much. I bet that would probably be a discussion for like if we do a follow-up episode in the future. Ruby, like I'm all down for like a pop culture, geek, media, just binge and just, gush about our favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just all about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And when you mentioned Pacific Northwest, I kept thinking of like, it's the character from Gravity Falls.
I think
The
so. No,
brat. Yeah.
I heard one of my friends telling me like there's a place in Gravity Falls that's based in Oregon, and I was like, wait, what? Okay, here's the thing. First, we have. So I'm very proud to be Pacific Northwest. Like I love Washington and Oregon. They're like I love nature. I remember when I was living in LA, I would always watch so much Tinkerbell movies because I miss the
Oh
vibe.
yeah,
Like Oregon and Washington
fairies.
they give me community Tinkerbell vibes. It's just all magical and very I love nature myself. I love looking at pretty scenery and everything. I love it. But yeah, so Oregon is known for The Simpsons. Apparently the creator of The Simpsons grew up in
Yeah.
Oregon. I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
raised, I believe.
Portland, Oregon. Yeah.
Springfield, I
Yeah.
think we do have a Oregon does have a Springfield in the specific Northwest. There is a Springfield, and I think that's the origin of The
Yeah.
Simpsons. And we also have Twilight. So now we
Uh,
have Gravity Falls apparently, but no,
yeah.
this place
And one
is
of the characters is literally named Pacific Northwest.
iconic.
Or
I know.
Pacifica. Yeah. Pacifica Northwest. I'm sorry, not Pacific. It's Pacifica. Jeez, my brain today. And now, yeah. And when you're mentioning fairies, I feel like Mr. Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents. Fairies! Fairy godparents! So, yeah, I just got to get that out there. So, I think we are at the end of this. So, if there's any projects that you want to share, plug in, any last bit of advice, your socials, good,
Yeah,
all that good
yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I can't say anything yet because all of them are
sure.
NDA, and also I
Yeah.
don't know when they're going to be out. I have no idea. I'm living the
Mhm.
dream. But my socials, I'm more active on Instagram. I love taking pretty photos. Like I have a thing for photography. I like taking food
Yeah.
pictures and I like taking pictures. They're fun. It's a little hobby of mine.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
You never
and
know.
I'm on YouTube, of course, and Twitter, I don't really use Twitter that much anymore.
Yeah,
I just
social
go on
media is
there.
kind of
It's too
weird.
much.
Yeah.
It's too much. I don't know how people can handle so much social media and handle all the platforms, but the ones that I'm most active on is Instagram. I find it a lot of fun. But yeah, so my biggest advice for people who are listening, who are currently wanting to pursue VO or currently in VO, who knows, or maybe you're in the process of a VO career or you want to be in entertainment, just remember to have hobbies outside of acting, and it's okay to feel like you don't know what you're doing. I mean, hell, half the time I don't know what I'm doing really. I'm just like hope for the best, but just really remember what made you fall in love with this craft? What brings you joy? And find things outside of acting that brings you joy. And life is a lot more fun when you do that because I definitely was in a point in my life where everything was VO, all I could think of is VO. And when friends ask me, or when new people meet me, they're like, what are your hobbies? My brain literally went blank. I was like, I don't know. Huh. So, just be very cautious. I know VO is very fun and very interesting, and you just want to like be all about it, but live your life and just find hobbies and find what makes you you.
Amen to that. So, would you like to do an outro for the show?
What kind of outro do we usually do? I'm not sure.
You can just say, "Hi, my name is Valory Pierce. I've done
Yeah.
this and this and this, and thank you for watching Station Square Podcast with Robert Jackson," or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, cool. Yeah. Hi, this is Valerie Pierce. I'm a voice actor, and I just want to say thank you so much to Square Station and Robert Jackson for having me. You guys have been amazing, and I hope you enjoy the episodes.
It was actually Station Square.
Station Square?
Yeah.
It's Station Square. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me try that again. Let me try that again. Okay. Hi, this is Valerie Pierce. I'm a voice actor, and I just want to say thank you so much to Robert Jackson at Station Square for having me. It's been so much fun, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. And as always, may courage be your wings.
Yep. We're flying, boy. Can we hear a little Chloe?
May courage be your wings, but that is like such a basic thing to say.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, there's so many characters we haven't even discussed about, but next time on Station Square with Robert Jackson. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, have a lovely weekend and happy June, you know? This is we're in the middle of so much stuff that is going on, but hey, I mean like we got this, you know? We're totally in this together. And Happy Pride Month. I forgot to mention that earlier. So thank you so much. Much love and take care. Robert Jackson, skadooshing on out of here. Take care, y'all. Bye bye.